deuces are sweet as honey, and they can win you a lot of money on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, for a very good poem, we'd like to thank Annette Frechette of Lisbon, Maine. Thank you, Annette, for sending in that opening poem. I don't know if you were with us yesterday, but yesterday we had a silly question. We had some mail. Some people said I looked like Prince Charles of England. So yesterday our staff went out and polled 100 people, and sure enough, 28 out of the 100 thought I looked like Prince Charles. So when we got ready for the show, the camera crew made a crown for me so I would feel at home. What do you think? I don't know. If this is supposed to make me look like Prince Charles, how come I feel like Chuck Barris? Let's open the board and get to the cards. Janice and Bettina load in the cards, if you will. We'll meet our players on Card Sharks. Hello, Craig. Craig Holman. Good to see you again. You're doing very well.
Not too bad.
Now, as an Englishman, did you think I had a royal bearing there, Craig?
Well, you might have done, yeah.
You slid by that quickly. Craig, you're doing very well. You've won $6,800 in cash on the show.
Very good.
And our challenger is Laurie Wolvett. Hi, Laurie. Nice to see you again. And we met you only briefly yesterday, so won't you remind us about yourself?
I'm Laurie Wolvett from Hemet, California. I'm a sophomore at San Diego State University, and I'm a speech communications major. I like music and drama, and I'm an identical twin.
How is it being brought up as an identical twin?
Oh, it's great. I can't think of how it'd be to be single.
Really? So you always have a friend to play with, right?
Yeah.
Good, good. Oh, you're going to get the giggles again, Laurie.
Don't do that.
Oh, no. Would you like me to put my crown back on, Laurie? Would that do any good?
No, it was funny. It was fun.
Okay. Good luck in the match. I'm sure you both cut the cards, and each player has a deck of 52 playing cards shuffled and cut before we go on the air. Craig, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red cards. Laurie, the challenger, the lower cards, the blue cards. Before you can begin calling high-low on the cards, you must win a high-low toss-up question. We play the best 2 out of 3, and the challenger, Laurie, has the first game of the match. So, Craig, you need this one. We're at question 2, and it goes to you, Craig. We asked 100 married women, if you put on a blindfold, and kissed a whole room full of men, would you be able to pick out your husband? How many women said they could pick out their husband just by kissing him?
That's a hard one, you know. It's I think it goes mainly on the smell, really. The aftershave, you know.
I'm glad you clarified that, Craig.
I would do, yeah. I don't know. I'll say 30.
30 women could pick out their husband just by kissing him, Laurie.
I don't think they could. I'll say it's lower.
You say lower.
Yeah.
I know my wife could because she says I kiss lousy. You say lower, Laurie. If it is lower, you'll go to the board first. If not, it'll be Craig. And the actual number of married women who, if they were blindfolded, could pick out their husband just by kissing him is 72. Not lower, Craig. And Craig needs this game, and your base card is a 7. You won the question. You have the right to change it.
Take it away. I'll have
Here's the next card off the top of the deck. A 2, a great change.
Higher.
Higher than a 2. Yes, with a 10.
I'm going to freeze.
You'll freeze it. We'll move the freeze bar over. Can't take those cards away from you. We've got a tie. Each player needs 3 cards for the win. Laurie, we asked 100 women. If another woman said she admired you and then cut her hair exactly like yours and bought all the same clothes, would you be annoyed? How many women said they would be annoyed?
I think a lot would. It's hard enough when you're a twin. Let me see. About 70.
70 would be annoyed if somebody emulated them that much, Craig.
Well, I don't think it's much of a compliment, really, because every woman likes to be an individual. So I'm going to say it is higher.
Even higher than 70. Well, the actual number of women who, if another woman cut her hair exactly like theirs and bought all the same clothes, would be annoyed is 60. Not higher, Laurie. But still a lot of them. Now you won the question, Laurie. You can change that 7 if you like.
Change it.
See if we can improve it with
Yes!
A queen. Very much an improvement.
Lower.
Lower than a queen. It is a 6.
Well,
Remember, you can freeze at any time,
Freeze.
and you're going to do it right there with a 1-card lead. And we are at the 4th and final question, sudden death. Someone has to win with this play of the cards. Craig, we asked 100 people a ridiculous question. For $100, would you eat a spoonful of cat food? How many people said yes, they would?
Oh, no.
It's a funny question, really, because I once had a cat food sandwich. You know, I thought it was salmon.
How did it
I
taste,
couldn't
Craig?
tell a difference
Couldn't tell a
anyway.
difference.
No. I don't think there'd be many, really. There's not much money there. I'm going to say, what, 12.
12 people for $100 would eat a spoonful of cat food, Laurie.
Well, $100 is $100, and they say cat food isn't that bad. Higher.
Higher than 12. The actual number of people who for $100 would take a catnip is 45. Higher, Laurie.
Okay.
Now, Laurie, you need 2 cards to win. Craig needs 3 cards to win. You've got the control. Do you want to play it or pass it?
Pass it. You can have
All right, Craig, you can't change it. You've got a 10. You need all 3 cards. Get them all. We've got a tied match. One mistake. We have a new champion. Call this.
Okay. Well, I'll take the first one lower.
Lower than a 10. Oh, it's not. We have a new champion on Card Sharks. Just like that. Laurie, congratulations. And Craig, you're a nice gentleman and a fine
Really
champion.
enjoyed it. Really enjoyed
Thank you.
it.
We've enjoyed having you.
Thank you.
You're leaving us with $6,800.
She wins more.
Good. Craig Holman. Thank you, Craig. Come on down here, Laurie. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're going to giggle now, huh?
Yes.
Well, we'll let Laurie giggle for a while, and maybe one of these commercials will make you giggle. Watch. We'll be right back. Back with our champion, Laurie Wolbert. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Then let's open the board and get to the money cards. Come on, Laurie. Now, Laurie, you won $200 in the game. That's yours to keep. We don't take that away from you. We will give you a brand new deck of cards, shuffled and cut, and new money to play with. This time you're going to bet that money. On the bottom line, we give you $200. These 3 cards to bet as you will. Move up to the second level, another $200 of betting money, 3 more cards. Your minimum bet's $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet, where you must bet at least half your money.
Okay.
Laurie, the cards are due.
Oh,
I hope you're going to do it. Here's $200. As in the game, you have a choice of 2 base cards on the bottom line. Remember, you can change your base card when you move to the second level, and you can change your base card when you get up for the big bet. We want to give you every opportunity to clean up. Starting with an 8.
I change it.
You can change it.
Change it.
You must play this one. Next card off the top of the deck is a 7.
Oh.
Oh, it's a little better, though.
Okay.
With $200 now, be
I'll
careful.
bet.
You got a 7.
$50 that it's higher.
All right, good. $50 bet. We're going to
That's
feel it
higher.
out, see if we can get a better card. $50 higher than a 7.
Oh.
No, a 2.
Okay, but that's
Not
a good card.
bad.
That's a
Yes,
good card.
indeed. $150
All of it-
and a great card.
All of it that it's higher.
$150 now. All of it higher than a 2. Yes,
Oh,
and a
yeah,
10.
yeah, okay.
$300 and a
Okay.
10, Laurie.
I'll bet $200 that it's lower.
Oh, a big bet on that. $200.
I feel it, I think.
You feel it? I hope you're right. Lower than a 10 for $200. She's right with the feeling. $500 and a good card. The 3 moves up here. We'll give you the
Oh,
other
goodness.
$200. You've
Okay.
got $700. You want to play the 3?
Okay. I'll bet all of it that it's higher.
Whole thing again. $700. Higher than a 3. Oh, no! Oh, doggone it. That 2 came up at the wrong time, Laurie.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. You're still the champion. Come on down here, Laurie. That's terrible.
Oh, well.
Wouldn't
You'd think that would go better.
Yeah, well, we hoped it would go better.
I hope.
You're not giggling, Laurie.
I know.
You
I'd love to-
ever lost that much money on the turn of a card? $700?
I've never had that much money.
Oh, well, maybe she'll get a chance to do it again. We'll meet a new challenger right after this. Back with our champion, Laurie Wolbert. Doggone it, those cards weren't right for you up there.
Oh, well.
They have been running very bad all week. Last week they're running great. Someone won over 15,000, and this week they're not running good.
Oh, well.
What do you think? Next time?
Hopefully.
That's the only
I
way
hope
to feel
so.
it. Good. All right, Laurie, here we go again. Deal out 2 brand new decks of cards, Janice, and we'll meet our next challenger on Card Sharks. George Cox. Hi, George. Good to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm George Cox. I'm from Oakland, California. I'm temporarily unemployed, and I have a couple of hobbies that I like very well, and that's reading anatomy and physiology and trying to parlay horses.
Good. Well, you like to gamble, huh?
I love to gamble. I love it.
This is a good spot for you. Good to have you here with us. You'll play the lower cards, the blue cards. Laurie, the upper cards, the red cards. And Laurie, we asked 100 married men. If you had both a 17-year-old girl and a 17-year-old boy, would you allow your daughter the same sexual freedom as your son? How many men said they would allow their daughter the same sexual freedom as their son?
Nope. Men are more protective of their daughters. My dad is. So I'll say, how many men would? Is it would?
Yes. How many would allow their daughter the same freedom as their son?
It wouldn't be high. I'll say 20.
20 would allow the same freedom to a girl as they would a boy.
I think that men are much more protective of their daughters than they are their sons, and I would say that it's even lower than that.
Even lower than that. My 17-year-old daughter is sitting in the audience. I'm not going to make any comment. I'm not going to let her have any indication what I'm thinking. You say lower, George. The actual number of married men who would allow their 17-year-old daughter the same sexual freedom as their son is 41. Not lower, Laurie. And the fathers were a lot more liberal than you thought. Not this one. Okay. Now, Laurie, your base card is a 3.
All right, good card. I'll go higher.
Higher than a 3. Yes, with a 6.
Oh, I'll freeze.
Freezing it right there with that one card advantage. That keeps George
scared.
away from his cards. Laurie's going to get the giggles just to disconcert you there, George. George, we asked 100 bachelors a ridiculous question. For $1,000, would you dress up like a woman and go on a date with a man? How many bachelors said yes, they would?
Well, I don't think that many bachelors would do that because they would be going someplace. They would be afraid someone would see them that knew them, even though they was dressed like the woman. So I would say about 20.
20 would dress up and go out with a man.
1,000. I think it's lower. I think it's lower. I don't think that many could pass.
Oh, I see. Well, the actual number of bachelors who for $1,000 would dress up like a woman and go on a date with a man is 31. Not lower, George.
All right. Good. Very
We'll
good.
give it a try. And George, you'll try a 10. Do you want it?
I think I'll keep the 10. I'll keep the 10 and I'll go lower.
Lower than a 10. Oh, no, an ace. And right away, that gives Laurie a chance to play off the 6 and call this.
I'll go higher.
Higher than a 6. Yes, a 9.
I'll freeze.
And Laurie's inching along one card at a time, but
get
that's
chicken.
good strategy if it pays off, Laurie. We surveyed 100 farmers in Iowa. We asked them, is your telephone on a party line? How many farmers said yes?
Oh, gee. I don't... It probably is pretty high out there because there's so many... I'll say 55.
55 are on a party line, George.
Well, being in Iowa and it's a farm country, I would say even higher than that.
Higher than that.
Higher
the
than
party
that.
line is common. The actual number of farmers whose telephone is on a party line is 28. No, it's not higher. Not that common. Laurie, and we
I'll
inch
change
along
it.
looking at the 9.
Change it.
Changing the 9 to
All
a
right.
2. That's a great card.
Great. Higher.
Higher than a 2. The Jack.
Okay, I'll go for it and I'll say lower.
Lower for the first game in the match. It is. Yes, it is. Game 1 to the champion. With $100, and we'll set up for game 2, Janice. Well, that inching along paid off for you there, Laurie.
I get nervous.
George, if you're going to get a chance to play the money over there, you got to get going with this game. Here we go. Same 2 decks of cards set up, and the question to you, George. We asked 100 people, should advertising aimed at little children be banned from television? How many people said yes?
Well, with the amount of advertising that they're doing now, and they're projecting it directly at children, I would say about 60.
60 people said they should ban advertising for children, Laurie.
Oh, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's lower.
You say lower.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
The actual number of people who had said advertising aimed at children should be banned is 47. It's lower, Laurie. And again, people had a little more understanding than we thought. Laurie, your base card is a
All
king.
right, good. Lower.
Lower than a
Ace.
king. Yes, 5.
Okay, I'm going to chance it and go higher.
Risking the 5 and this card higher. Yes.
Lower.
Lower than an ace. A 5.
Oh, freeze.
Freezing it, needing 1 card for the championship. Laurie, we asked 100 lifeguards on the beaches of Southern California. As far as you know, has a girl ever pretended she was drowning in order to meet you? How many lifeguards said a girl has pretended she was drowning?
Okay. I think that's pretty high. So I'll say, but not real high, so I think it's 55.
55. What do you think, George?
I really don't think people will go that far and play to that extent, so I'm going to say that it's lower.
You say lower. The actual number of lifeguards who said a girl has pretended she was drowning in order to meet them is 40. It's lower, George. Yes. George, you need this game, and you're starting with a 2. Great
I'll
card.
keep the 2, and I'll go higher.
Higher than a 2. Yes, a 10.
I will play the 10, and I'll go lower.
Risking it lower than a 10, an 8.
I'll freeze.
And he'll freeze. George needs 2 cards. Lori needs 1. Question 3 to you, George. We asked 100 people. Have you ever changed your mind about voting for someone while you were in the voting booth? How many people said yes, they have changed their minds?
Well, going into the voting booth and then thinking of something that you've read, I would say about 40.
40 have changed their mind in the voting booth, Lori.
Okay, I just voted for the first time, and I changed my mind, and so I think it's higher.
Higher than that.
Yeah.
The actual number of people who've changed their mind about voting for someone while they were in the voting booth is 47. It's higher, Lori. Lori, you've got a 5.
Okay.
Do you want to play it?
I want to change the card.
Changing it, then this could be an important change. It is a 7.
Oh,
Ooh,
shoot.
not a very good card, but a big call,
Okay.
Lori.
I'll say it's higher.
If this is higher, Lori has won the championship for the win. No, it's a 2. George has a chance to play off the 8 and call this.
I'm going to call it higher.
Higher than an 8. Yes, with an ace.
Lower.
Lower to tie up the match. He did it for the king. We're tied at 1-1. Each player with 1 game and $100. Let's set up for the tiebreaker. Good match, going right down to the wire. And with the tiebreaker, we will set up with just 3 cards up there. 3 questions here. Lori, we asked 100 new fathers. These are all men who have had a child within the last 6 months. Has the experience of having a baby brought you and your wife closer together? How many new fathers said the baby had brought them closer together?
Oh, I'm sure it's a lot. I know my dad, the way my dad talks after our first kid, their first kid was born, it's probably 85.
85. Higher or lower, George?
Well, now, I know that the new addition to a family makes a difference, but I'm going to say a bit lower.
Lower than that. The actual number of new fathers who said that having a baby had brought them closer together is 80. It's lower. Still a high number, but George, you got it.
Very good.
And George, your base card in the tiebreaker is a 7. Do you want
I
to...
want to change that, please.
Changing it to a 5. A little better card.
Higher.
Higher than a 5. Yes, a 6.
I'm going to go on and go higher.
If this is higher, we have a new champion for the win. Yes, 9. George did it. Congratulations, George.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
Lori, thank you for joining us.
very much.
You're
I
a
had a
delight.
good time.
And you're leaving us with $300.
Okay.
Lori Wolford. Thank you, Lori. George, come on down here. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jim.
Money cards coming up right after this with George Cox. All right, here we go. The cards dealt out in front of the audience. George, this is what you've been waiting for.
This is what I've been waiting for.
Here's $200. And your first base card is an ace. Good start.
All 200 on the ace, lower.
Whole thing, $200. Lower than an ace. Yes, with a jack. 400 and a jack, George.
400 lower.
Whole thing again.
Oh, the whole thing, lower.
Oh, he is a gambler. 400 lower than a jack. Yes, with a 5. $800 and now a 5, George.
400 higher.
Half the money, $400. Higher than a 5. Oh, no, a 2. Oh, that's a good gamble. You held back at the right time. Not too much, but another $200 as we move the 2 up here. I know you want to play it. You've got $600, George.
$600 higher.
The whole thing.
Whole thing.
All or nothing.
All or
$600
nothing.
bet higher than a 2. Yes, with a 5. $1,200 and again a 5, George.
$400 higher.
$400 higher than a 5. Come on, card. Be there. Oh, a 7. Good. Tough card.
$100 higher.
See if we can buy a better card for $100 higher than a 7. Oh, another 7. Oh, you held back beautifully, George. We moved the 7 up, and now here's an important twist. You can change that 7 if you'd like.
I want to change it. Change the 7, please.
Big card for George on the big bet. He'll play. Oh, an 8. George, you are right up the middle. You must bet $750. You can bet more. You've got $1,500. What's your big bet?
$750 that it's higher.
All right, we're not looking at a lot of face
I've
cards.
only seen one face card.
You got a
so
feeling?
I got a feeling that it's higher.
Well, I hope your gambler's instinct is right. Higher than an 8. $750 bet? No! That was a tough card, but you finished with $750, George, and that's not too bad at all. Come on down, George. So you got $950 on that game. You even dropped your watch, right? All right, maybe George will get another chance at it. Right now, we'll take time out for this. We are out of time. We'll meet a new challenger to play our champion, George Cox, when next we meet on Card Shark. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.
A representative of the studio audience will receive Skyway's newest luggage for easier handling on stairs, curbs, and tight places. Upright luggage on wheels, outdoor twist fabric and colors including new Fantasia. Upright luggage on wheels furnished by Skyway. And some of our contestants will receive a Blue Luster shampooer and new Blue Luster Plus carpet shampoo with grease cutters and brighteners to remove ground-in dirt and grime. And the Firebird fireplace heating system draws in cold air, forces out hot air. The Firebird makes most fireplaces more effective, so you can turn your thermostat down. And a $50 gift certificate from Sears Baby Shop, where you can select most everything for baby, from quality sleepers, blankets, furniture, and more, even Winnie the Pooh. And Mohawk Carpet, 100 years of carpet craftsmanship. The Mohawk Luster Gallery collection of shimmering, soft, sensuous carpets, now at your color dealer. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson-Bill Todman production.